And it's time to roast some rats. Hey guys, this is JonTaun from Total Brohammer coming at you with another Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer battle. This battle is actually going to be round 5 of the YouTuber tournament we're playing in, and I will be facing up against DahvPlays, who is quite a good player. So he's got the Skaven, and I've got the Empire. So let's look at the builds here. So, for my general, as you've probably noticed, I have brought Volkmar the Grim. So the reason I brought Volkmar the Grim is he does Fear and Terror, and he has all these abilities that he's just really good against the Skaven. He's a chariot. He has all these abilities that do AoE damage. So he's got 2 uses of banishment. He's got unlimited uses of Grand Soulfire. And he's got Grand Shield of Faith and Grand Hammer of Sigmar, which will just buff him up and do a lot of damage to the enemies around him. He's also got the Jade Griffin, which gives him passive regeneration. As well as that, he's got Benediction. So I brought a lot of low-tier troops in the front line, like swordsmen. My secondary line is unbreakable, but that leadership can help for swordsmen and any non-unbreakable units. Besides that, now you might be thinking, well, JonTaun, the Skaven have great artillery, and chariots aren't exactly that hard to hit for a Warp Lightning cannon. But the thing about Volkmar is he has 15% missile resistance and 40% magic resistance. And as it happens, the Warp Lightning Cannon does do magic damage. So, that is 55% resistance from hits from this, which is pretty dang good. So it's going to be doing less than half damage. Not to mention, I'm going to move him up over here and get him out of line of sight of these guys. So besides that, I have 2 Knights of the Blazing Sun, 1 on each side, 3 Swordsmen, 3 Flagellants, Sigmar Sons, the Tattersouls, 2 Free Company Militia, and what I brought these guys for is they can hold their own against, say, like Clan Rats and Skaven Slave Spears, but they're also do really high DPS on unarmored targets, so these guys are basically my anti-Rat Ogre contingent. And I also brought the Silver Bullets, and I brought this just in case he brings a Doom Wheel, or a, one of their chariot things that the Lord can get on. I forget what they're called, Screaming Bells maybe. And I also brought a Spearman to back him up. So for my magic, I brought the Bright Wizard, and I just got him with the Flaming Sword of Ruin and the Burning Head. So, let's look at what Dav has over here. He's got 2 Gutter Runners up in the front. He's got some Skaven Slave Spears and Skaven Slave Springers up front just to absorb charges and deal out some damage. He's got more Skaven Slave Spears protecting his cannons. He's got 2 Rat Ogres, a Warlord on a Bonebreak over here, 2 Poison Wind Globadiers for anti-large, and a Warplock Engineer with Howling Warp Gale, and it looks like, what is that ability called? Warp Lightning, I believe it's called. Yeah, Warp Lightning. He also has Warp Storm Armor, which is like a Morse Engine effect and just drains the health of all enemies nearby. So let's get this into full gear, guys. So seeing that he has a range advantage, I'm of course going to move up immediately. I'm sending these Cav and Volkmar over here so that these trees can help block the shots of this Warp Lightning Cannon. As you see, it just blocked a shot right there. So these Gutter Runners appear, and I'm just going to try to have my Knights of the Blazing Sun and Swordsmen screen them. These guys are heavily armored and do have shields, so I'm not too worried about them. I probably should have pursued on that charge there, but I pulled back. And once I realized that, I was like, well, I'm probably not going to catch them now, so I just got out of there. They are being debuffed heavily by their speed, by the nets of the Gunner Runners, as well as their poison. So these guys are just wasting all their ammo on these swordsmen. That's fine, that's what they're there for. My enemy moves the Rat Ogres and Warlord over here to deal with these guys, which is a really good plan. But I'm going to shift over my Free Company Militia, some Swordsmen, my Spearmen, and these Silver Bullets, all to take down these guys. And I'm going to move Volkmar right through the center, because really the only threat to Volkmar is his Warlord and these Rat Ogres. So I need Volkmar to avoid those guys as long as he can. So we're just going to engage in the front line here. And we're just going to engage over here. And he's going to win it initially, because these Rat Ogres just do massive damage on the charge to infantry. But I'm going to have my Free Company Militia and Silver Bull shooting them up. And I'm actually going to do a charge with the Knights of the Blazing Sun. I'm going to send Volkmar right through the middle, as I said. And we're going to send the Knights of the Blazing Sun right over here. I got some Swordsmen just kiting off these guys. And I do pop a Burning Sun right over here. and it does a ton of damage. As you can see, it does destroy my swordsman, but also destroys these plague monks. So a plague monk for a swordsman and escape and slave spirit, that's fair. As you can see, I made the mistake of actually sending my free company militia into melee, so I'm going to pull them back. Sending in my Knights of the Blazing Sun and Volkmar, and we're hopefully going to do so much damage so fast to these guys by sandwiching them and getting Volkmar on them that we'll be able to wrap them. So I'm trying to get these free company militia out of here. He just dropped a Warp Lightning on my Silver Bullets, which was a really good idea. I pulled the Knights of the Blazing Sun out here and got them over there, and my infantry are just holding up all these rat ogres while I just do a ton of damage with my free company militia and these Silver Bullets. Dropping a banishment over here to try to help ward off these escape and slave spears and his infantry in general, and I'm going to now go after all of his poison winged globadiers. All he's got is escape and slave spears, which honestly, Knights of the Blazing Sun will beat these guys, even though they are spearmen. They do have anti-light ones. So I just got Volkmar riding around, just causing havoc everywhere, bringing fear and terror all over the battlefield. He's going to drop a Warp Lightning over here. I'm just going to keep on moving my guys through. And I'm just going to keep on charging around with these Knights of the Blazing Sun. So why did I bring Knights of the Blazing Sun instead of just regular Rice Guard? Well, they actually do fire damage. And whenever I cast a spell with my Lore Fire guy over here, I actually get plus 22% to fire damage units. So let me see what exactly it does over here. Let me pause it. And plus 22 weakness to fire. So that's on all enemy units. So any enemy unit that is getting hit by one of my units that has fire damage is going to take plus 22% damage. So that's pretty good. So I'm gonna think about coming to chase these guys off, but then, you know, I'm thinking I'm just gonna get kited to oblivion. Not seeing that these guys actually didn't have any ammo, so I'm just gonna pull them back. I just got Volkmar over here. He doesn't really have anything that can pin down Volkmar at this point. I mean, he has this Warlord, but let's see who's faster. He's 60. And he is 50. So the Warlord is actually faster, but I got plenty of range fire, and that's going to really hurt against the Warlord who has low armor. So I tried another Burning Head over here, hoping he wouldn't notice, and it did not work. So over here, I'm really beating the brakes off his rat ogres. I mean, they are doing a lot of damage, but these free company militia are just doing so much to them. And honestly, it's a mistake to have all these troops tied up with just these two rat ogres. I was trying to pull these two guys away, but they were never able to get out because of being attacked. Gonna charge into these poison winged globadiers over here, and I'm just gonna keep on running Volkmar around, not letting him stay in one place for too long, as you should never with chariots. He's just messing up these plague monks. And these free company militia, look at that damage that they're doing on that Warlord. Now we're gonna have the Silver Bullets join in, and he is not long for this world, guys. So we're hitting the Warp Lightning cannon over here. It's not been able to do very much damage, which is very bad for the escaping player here. These poison winged globadiers coming back up, so I'm just going to send Volkmar to go deal with them. They can do a lot of damage to Volkmar, but he's just closing in too fast. Oh, they actually do stop him there, so this is their chance to get a lot of damage on. Unfortunately, they don't have very many models, and they're actually missing quite a lot for being that close. So, not to mention, he does have regeneration. So we got some gutter runners running out of ammo here. They're coming in after my Silver Bullets, and we're just going to retreat with them and then shoot them out. And then my opponent gets hit with army losses. So, a very good game to my opponent, DahvPlays. He's a very good player. Let's look at the breakdown here. So, Volkmar actually did not get a lot of kills, but that fear and terror he was bringing around was just very, very useful. Like that one part where I got Volkmar in on those two Plague Monks and then had a Knights of the Blazing Sun hit him from both sides, just decimated those guys. So these Plague Monks did end up getting a lot of kills. As you can see, the rest of his troops really didn't get all that many kills, not even his Rat Ogres. His Gutter Runners with Poison did really good, honestly, and so does Warp Lightning can, after all. 61 kills, that's not bad. But, as you can see, I have a lot of low-tier troops, so a lot of those kills were just on fodder. Like these swordsmen, they're just there for bodies, guys. I mean, the real damage is my Unbreakable line here. These guys are all damage dealers, as well as the Free Company Militia. So there's a lot of damage here, and here's just some meat shield up here. And it's a really good synergy with the Bright Wizard and Volkmar. Volkmar does fire damage, and so do the Knights of the Blazing Sun. As well, I have had Cascading Fire Cloak, I believe it's called, that gives fire damage to any enemy units I used on. I don't think I showed it to y'all, but I did use it. So that was putting out a lot of damage really fast. For his army, I liked it. He really needed to get these Rat Ogres onto Volkmar. That's really the only thing he had that would have been able to pin him down. But since he wasn't able to do that, Volkmar was just able to run rampant. So yeah, guys, good game to my opponent Dav, and that's going to be all for this one. This is JonTaun from Total Brohammer signing out.